It is the middle of the night, around 1110 BC, and you are standing inside a pharaoh's tomb with a chisel in your hand and his mummy on the floor in front of you. The gold at his throat comes away easily. You take it. You take his wife's as well. Then you set both coffins on fire and you walk home before dawn. We know every part of that sentence: the tomb, the night, the gold, the fire, because you told them. Under arrest, in detail, in writing, and then they let you go. The document is a court record from year 16 of Ramses IX. Today it lives in two pieces, in two countries, half in Brussels, half in New York. A confession about looting, itself cut up and sold. The museum appreciates the symmetry. The man giving it is called Amenpanufer, stonemason, son of Anhernacht, and he opens with what may be the most relaxed sentence in Egyptian history. We went to rob the tombs, as is our usual habit. As is our usual habit. This is a man in custody, in front of officials, describing his career, the way you'd describe a commute. The job in question? The pyramid tomb of King Sobekemsaf, dead about 400 years by then, buried with his queen, Nubkas. 8 of them went in. They tunneled through with copper tools, found the burial chamber, and got to work. We stripped off the gold, which we found on the august mummy of this god, and its amulets and ornaments which were at its throat, and the coverings wherein it rested. Note the phrasing, not the body. This god, he knows exactly what he's touching. He does it anyway. Then they set the coffins alight, which sounds like malice and isn't. It's process. The coffins were wood covered in gold leaf, and you cannot peel gold leaf off a coffin in the dark at speed. You can burn the wood and pick the gold out of the ashes. A coffin is a fiddly object. A fire is a refinery. So the most sacred container in Egyptian culture was, to 8 working men with a deadline, a slow way of storing metal. Understand what that means to an Egyptian, though. The tomb is not a memorial, it is life support. The body has to survive, the name has to be readable, the offerings have to keep arriving, or the person genuinely ends. Robbing a tomb isn't theft with extra steps, it is killing someone who had, until that night, been managing quite well. They divided the haul 8 ways and went home. He got caught, and here's the line that ought to be on a plaque somewhere. I took the 20 deben of gold that represented my share, and I gave them to Kaimop, the district scribe of the landing quay of Thebes. He released me. 20 deben, call it 4 pounds of gold. He paid his way out of a capital charge using the exact gold he'd been arrested for taking, handed to the official processing him. And then, his words, not mine, he went back and rejoined the gang. That is the entire justice system of the New Kingdom, described from the inside, by a man who beat it. If you enjoy the version of history where the paperwork survives and the moral doesn't, that's the whole channel. Subscribe. Now go up a level, because the interesting crime isn't the robbery. Thebes had 2 mayors. Pazer ran the East Bank, the city of the living. Pharaoh ran the West Bank, the city of the dead, which meant the royal tombs, the necropolis workforce, and the guards. Pazer filed a report saying, in effect, the royal tombs are being emptied, and the man in charge of protecting them is either involved or asleep. The vizier, Kamwaset, ordered an investigation. He put Pharaoh in charge of it. The commission crossed to the West Bank and inspected 10 royal tombs. It found exactly 1 that had been broken into, Sobekemsaf's, the one we already have a signed confession for. The other 9, it reported, were untouched. The following day, the necropolis workmen staged a celebration for the undisturbed tombs. They held it, Pazer felt, rather pointedly in his direction. On day 21, the great court sat. Pazer was discredited, and then Pazer vanishes. No further mention, no later title, nothing. In a civilization that wrote down the number of loaves in a workman's lunch. The man who reported the robberies simply stops appearing in the record. Pharaoh was never charged. He kept the job. 17 temple workers were convicted and executed, because the system did work, downwards. The punishments on file for tomb robbery run from the bastinado, a beating on the soles of the feet and the hands, through flogging, through cutting off the nose and ears, up to impalement or burning. And the beating wasn't reserved for the guilty. Witnesses were beaten too. It was simply how you improve someone's memory before they gave evidence.
So the rule was never guilt.
The rule was leverage. Turn up with 4 pounds of gold and a friendly scribe on the key, and you walk. Turn up as a temple laborer with no gold and nobody to call, and you are the deterrent. The robberies didn't stop. They got worse, through a stretch of bad harvests, unpaid rations, and a state slowly running out of grip. So Egypt gave up. Not loudly, administratively. Priests went round the Valley of the Kings, collected the kings out of their own violated tombs, rewrapped what was left of them, and hid them together in a shaft in a cliff at Deir el-Bahari. Ramses II, Seti I, Thutmose III filed away in the dark like luggage by the state that had promised them eternity.
That's the real ending.
The pharaohs were evacuated from their own funerals. And we know the name of the man who started that landslide. We know his father's name, his trade, the tomb he opened, the weight of gold he took, and the exact official he paid to make it go away. Because Egypt's bureaucracy recorded every single detail of the crime, immaculately, in triplicate. It just couldn't stop it. It only took excellent notes while it happened. This has been the Crooked Museum. Mind the exit, and don't touch the gold on your way out.